In this video, we're going to explore what happens if you leave David Archer with Cerberus at the end of Mass Effect 2's Overlord DLC. We'll discuss the unique dialogue and consequences of this outcome, as well as what happens in Mass Effect 3. Keep watching to see it all. What's up, everyone? Big Dan here. Before we begin, you should know I have over 100 Mass Effect Trilogy videos on my channel, including hidden scenes, rare choices, lore videos, and guides. So if you want to see more Mass Effect, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos. Also, I've put links in the description to my PC gaming setup, so if you're looking for some new gear for yourself, you can check that out. Without further ado, let's dive right in. In Mass Effect 2's Overlord DLC, Commander Shepard investigates a Cerberus project that's gone horribly wrong. Upon arrival, we meet the project's chief scientist, Gavin Archer, who informs us that Cerberus was conducting research into a human VI interface with the goal of gaining an edge over the Geth. Gavin's brother David volunteered to help develop the interface, but has since been overwhelmed by the VI and taken control of the station. If you bring Legion along as a squad mate for this DLC, you'll get some unique dialogue with Gavin.
Now let me ask you a question. Is your friend here going to be a problem?
If there's one Geth in the galaxy who can't be brainwashed, it's him. Don't worry.
I'll take your word for it.
As we fight our way through the station to remove the lockdown, we discover that David Archer is autistic and was essentially exploited by his brother to take part in this project. At the end of the DLC, we discover the horrifying setup that Cerberus has created to connect David with the VI, and we have the choice to either send David to Grissom Academy or leave him with Cerberus. Here's how the scene plays out when we let Gavin keep his brother.
What I've done to David is unethical. If he dies, it's unforgivable. Let me take care of him. Please.
Quiet. Please, make it stop.
I'll let you have it, but... You're a sick bastard. The only reason you're getting off this floor alive is because this project might prevent a war. You better make damn sure this nightmare was worth all the pain.
Square root of 912.04 is 30.2. It all seemed harmless.
After the mission, we receive an email from the Illusive Man commending us for making the tough decision to allow Overlord to continue. Shepard, I've just been made aware of the transgressions that occurred during Project Overlord. Dr. Archer went too far in his experiments. That said, I admire your resolve in handling the situation. David will get the best medical care Cerberus can provide, and his talents will also remain vital to our understanding of the Geth. I appreciate you keeping our overall goals in mind, even under difficult moral circumstances. That's why I brought you on board. If this message sounds like complete bullshit, that's because it is. It's the same manipulative tone we are familiar with in the Illusive Man. Cerberus does not take care of David and continues to exploit him for its own ends, with the Illusive Man cracking the whip on Gavin Archer to get results. We learn more about how things played out in Mass Effect 3. About halfway through the game, Samantha Trainer will give us a mission to investigate a facility run by scientists who defected from Cerberus. This is where we typically link up with Jacob Taylor to rescue the scientists and get them to work on the Crucible project. Right as you enter the facility, you'll discover that Gavin Archer is among the defectors. This conversation can play out several different ways. We'll just focus on the options that occur if David was left with Cerberus during Mass Effect 2.
Commander Shepard, Dr. Gavin Archer, we met on Project Overlord.
That's one way of putting it.
Yes. Well, I've tried putting all that behind me.
What are you doing here?
I strayed too far from the path. This was my only refuge. As a boy, I wanted to be a scientist remembered for doing right by the world, curing a disease or discovering a new element, not a monster who tortured his own brother.
What did you say to the Illusive Man?
I told him if his intention was to work with the devil, he only had to look in the mirror. I wanted out of his nightmare.
He just let you go?
If it had been that easy, I wouldn't be hiding here. Every Cerberus soldier in the galaxy has orders to shoot me on sight.
What happened to Project Overlord?
I recommended we shut it down, but the Illusive Man insisted otherwise. I had no choice but to stay on. I couldn't leave my brother alone, so I continued our research with the Geth.
You mean you kept torturing him?
Eventually, he learned to control his emotions, for the most part. Then one day, he simply stopped responding. His vitals were strong, but his mind, I think he lost the will to live.
So what did you do?
The only thing I could. I ended his misery. My only salvation left in this life is hoping the research proves useful against the Geth.
I have to go. And I'm not even going to pretend it was good to see you again.
I understand. But Commander, I know leaving my brother behind wasn't an easy choice, but some good can come from what he endured. This is everything our experiments taught us about controlling the Geth. I pray you'll find it useful.
Just to briefly recap, after we left David Archer with Cerberus, the Illusive Man and Gavin Archer continued Project Overlord, abusing David in pursuit of the project's goals. Eventually, David became overwhelmed and unresponsive, so Gavin euthanized his brother to end his suffering. Racked by guilt at what he had done, Gavin eventually defected from Cerberus, and we find him on Gelix in Mass Effect 3. After the mission is complete, Gavin Archer is recruited as a war asset worth 20 points. However, if you complete this mission after Priority Rannoch, then you will get a different outcome with Gavin Archer.
So what did you do?
The only thing I could. I ended his misery. My only salvation left in this life is hoping the research proves useful against the Geth.
They've already been dealt with.
What do you mean?
The Geth are our allies now.
Allies? It's over, then?
I would think you'd be happy. Wasn't that the point of Overlord?
But David's suffering was all for nothing. A precaution, if I was ever captured by the enemy, or couldn't wake from my nightmare. We both know this is the ending I deserve. God be with you, Commander. He was never with me.
This scene kind of bugged out when I was playing. Gavin is supposed to pull out a gun, but there was just nothing in his hands. I reloaded several times and the gun never appeared. Also, when the cutscene is over, Gavin's body is nowhere to be found. I don't think that's a bug, but it's just strange. So Gavin shot himself with an invisible gun and disappeared into thin air. That is the canon ending to Project Overlord. It's also surreal because immediately after this, when you go speak with Bryn, there's a totally different guy who sounds exactly like Gavin Archer.
Bryn, I can't possibly dismantle the genetic amplification components in time.
This is a weird mission, bro. You may have noticed that Jacob wasn't in these cutscenes either. That's because in my latest playthrough, he died during Mass Effect 2's suicide mission. But that's a topic for another video. So there you have it. What happens if you leave David Archer with Cerberus at the end of Mass Effect 2's Overlord DLC? If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to Big Dan Gaming for more Mass Effect and RPG videos. I'm also on Instagram, so go follow me at Big Dan Gaming. Until next time, this has been Big Dan. I should go.